Hello there. It is 10. It's like 10:25. Oh no, I'm totally wrong. It's 10:32. Okay, and so I'm here to talk to you. Uh, hold on a second. Hold on. That is so messy. Ugh. I'm here to talk to you about triggers. Now, over the years, I have definitely mentioned triggers before. That's not, you know, I mentioned how, hidden drug use and repressed memories, oftentimes there could be triggers, related to that as well. I've talked about uh, a particular smell, a particular cologne, and how it triggered me to feel a certain way. But, I realized that I've never really talked about what triggers me and how often I'm triggered. I saw a post on Instagram the other day where someone questioned, I know they're not talking to me, but some of this dialogue comes from, watching the timeline. So the question was posed, um, are you reclusive or something to that nature? Are you self isolating because you're healed or because you're afraid to be triggered, right? That's an excellent question. And so I would like to talk about what it's like walking outside for me because I'm actually triggered a lot. I encounter a lot of triggers over the course of the day when I actually do go outside. And for some, there's still no explanation. Um, so let's talk about just a few that I can name right now that I know you know, excuse me. One, black men. That is no offense to you or anything, but black men put me on edge. So do white men. Men. um, which is ironic because a lot of the bus drivers are men, and sometimes I'm even anxious or triggered to be on the bus by myself with them. Um, I meet a lot of men, primarily who ride the bus are men, so it can be extremely triggering. Compliments are still very triggering, um, depending on who they're coming from. And I could feel my breathing and things like that change. I hold my breath a lot still, you know. There's a particular sound in the gym, like when somebody drops weights, like the bar weights, they kind of like clap together. There's something that's triggering about that, but I don't know exactly the origin. There are certain smells. If I could smell alcohol, it's triggering. Still, certain perfumes, colognes, certain. I get a whiff, and it's just like panic. I do not like hearing the word fail. And believe it or not, it comes up a lot. Last year, I actually wanted to speak to a manager because an employee told me that I had failed, and I went off her. um, and I just wanted to talk to the manager to let them know that I'm responsible for my triggers, and your employee probably didn't do much wrong. um, but she did hang up on me, so yeah, I'm gonna talk to the manager. Get this fixed. And he did get it resolved. She was actually wrong. She was actually wrong. But her choice of words was not. My response was terrible. She hung up on me, and I had to get a manager involved to actually take care of the problem because I did not fail. I did not fail. Okay. An extended amount of silence. I don't mind silence, and I'm I'm on a different regimen right now, so I find myself in silence more often. Mm-hmm. Yo, I'm gonna have to get off of here. I'm obviously tired. Excuse me, but those are just some random things that trigger me when I'm out in public. They're not. It's that's not a very extensive list. But people's particular behaviors. Okay, I got somebody that flakes on me all the time, like all the time. Not in a dating type scenario, but they flake like all the time. Very triggering. I happen to know that they deal with a lot, so I'm not really bothered by it. But I am bothered by it. It does trigger me because it has that same you know the unreliability. Not that I'm looking to rely on them, but knowing that I can't is triggering. You know. Um, I know that I started the year not really in the best health, and um, speaking on things that triggered me over the last couple of months during the holiday months. But I think it's important to note that I'm triggered every day. I go out, I can't wait to get back in my house, but I have things I have to do. You know, can't just stop living life. The I'm still under medical care, so they're constantly probing and asking questions. It's all very triggering, and to rehash all the time, no matter where the scene is medically. In order to assist you, they have to know if you experience trauma in certain areas, even if it's not um like it's not mental health help. Like, I'm not getting mental health help, but um when they assess your body and they're doing certain things, they need to know if you experience trauma. So, like, for instance, for physical therapy, you know they need to know that, because when they're dealing with certain muscle groups, like the one I'm talking about, she literally said what I already said. So I know I'm on the right track. I know I have found uh, a spot in which trauma is being stored, and we're working on reversing it, but it requires me to divulge that information. Now, when I go home, I'm like thinking about it. It doesn't really slide off my mind like Teflon as it should sometimes. And, you know, all I'm saying is I am triggered every day, and most days I work through it very well. and it is always going to be a process. It's especially when you don't know where some of the triggers come from. Okay, I know where some of them come from. Like exactly, I can pinpoint it. Okay, the next time this happens, I'll continue to work on it. But like the weights thing, I don't know where that's from. I don't know where that's from. I don't know why it triggered me. So now I have to investigate that, right? You know what I'm saying? It never ends. You know, as you're exposed to new things, you might find that other things trigger you that you didn't know triggered you. And maybe you did know something was going to trigger you, and you still weren't able to handle it right. You know what I'm saying? You just keep going, keep going. So, you know, to my viewers that are out there that still watch and whatnot, you know, consider those things. Consider that every single day you keep climbing the mountain that is healing. You know, you keep doing it. Just you're all right. You know, if you have one blowout, if you don't respond too great, you know, it's okay because you know that every single day you are getting up and you are putting yourself in the line of fire every day, every single day. So, y'all take care and have a good evening.